Hoping to hammer some quality bluegill and pumpkinseed sunfish today. Just gotta find where the better sized ones are schooled up first. Right now I'm working a transition zone between deep and shallow. Trying to find some that are staging for the spawn but not quite spawning yet. Oh. Still got him. That's funny. Didn't quite get away there. Nice average bluegill start off, you know, 8.5, 8 3/4. Paw in the back. First fish was a decent bluegill. It's 9.1 inches. Hoping to find a lot like that today. That's my goal. Find a nice school of them. I think I got bass here. Shoot. Baby largemouth. Fishing with 3-way slip sinker rigs right now. I might use some other rigs today. I have a video on how I tie them if you're interested. I have them rigged up with a fluoroleader and a size 4 Aberdeen hook, which is plenty big enough to catch decent sunfish on. Looking for 9+ today. Consistent 9+, that's my goal. Catch a whole bunch. 9, maybe even 10+ inches. That's another decent one, average bluegill probably, you know, maybe 8 3/4. This is looking really good, really promising. Hot action so far for sure. Also forgot to mention I'm using half or third or quarter pieces of nightcrawler, or worms, whatever you want to call them, on these 3-way slip sinker rigs. It's a nice juicy piece of a fraction of a worm. Real aggressive bite so far. I think I'm about 600 bluegill into the season so far. That's out of, I don't know, probably less than 10 trips. Had a 150 day, a 250 day, and those were pretty full days, but had a lot of quick 50 days, or, you know, some of those quick 50s were in like an hour. But I'm just going to keep hammering them, that's my plan. Mainly looking for a trophy to CPR. Got a lot in the 9 to 10 range this year, but you know, nothing 11+. Nothing like that at all. So, you know, keep hunting for it. Man, this is just beautiful so far. Well, it's comfortable out. I'm on a cluster of quality bluegill right away. Last one measured out at 9. This looks like a little guy though, but there's definitely some quality ones mixed in. At least he's not tiny. You know, small one, probably 7, 7.5. You know, the whole idea behind this is the same concept I've been working in the last, I don't know, 5 bluegill videos or however many I uploaded so far this spring. You know, between May to midsummer, it seems like, from what I remember. I used to do this a lot years ago, but I skipped it last year. But anyway, May to midsummer, the bluegills will push shallow. They'll start out deep from wintering, push shallow for the spawn, and they'll do that in different groups. And right now, I'm hitting the, I don't know, definitely not the first wave. I don't know if it's the second or the third or the 5th wave. Schools of fish pushing shallow again. But it's a brand new wave, and there's some serious numbers here I noticed the other day, so I'm hitting it again. Another gill out deep, in like the deep transition zone, where it just starts to get deeper. You know, you can see them all around me here. That's a bluegill bed, and there's quite a few pumpkinseed beds and smaller bluegill beds mixed in between. And they have fish in them right now. I'll probably fish for them in a few minutes. You know, right there's like 10 right there, 5 more over there. But those are those are part of the group of sunfish that's currently spawning. But the neat thing about it, that's the neat thing, you know, being why I'm fishing the deep transition zone, is whenever you have spawning sunfish, usually there's a group of pre-spawn sunfish just a little bit deeper, schooled up, and still aggressive, that are going to spawn, you know, in a week or whatever. They're going to move in right after these guys move back out, or, you know, mix in with these guys, just on slightly different timetables. And, you know, if you can find the deep transition zones, you can catch, you know, a nice, usually quality school of bluegills in an aggressive bite. They're aggressive, but they're being just a little bit picky. They want their nightcrawlers juicy and still alive, not all dead and wrinkly, you know. Usually they do. Once in a while they're in super aggressive mood and they'll eat dead stuff too, but usually they want something juicy, even if it's just a piece. Nice pretty pumpkin seed. Man, I love their colors. There we go. Time to fish for some edge bluegills. Just fishing for them with a free line. It's a hook connected to the main line. Just the same little piece of worm. A lot of times you get slightly lower quality bluegill on the edge. Usually the better ones will be out in the shallows, spawning in the middle, like shallows away from the edge, or on some sort of structure on the edge. And then the average pumpkin seeds and smaller bluegills will just be on edge without structure, like right here. Oh, they're fighting over it. Funny. Same way it was a month ago, you know. Same thing I've been saying in previous bluegill videos this spring. There'll be new schools of fish, completely fresh fish that come in to spawn weeks later and months later, all throughout spring and throughout a lot of summer. New waves will keep pushing in. Totally different fish spawning, you know. And I was catching them the same way in the same spot over a month ago. Still fighting over it. I think this one's a male. I think. Here's the orange breast. Look how black they get on the bottom of their chest when they're spawning. Some of them get super black, like all the way across here. It's beautiful. Got some right real close to the edge right here. Might be a bit smarter. No, not that smart. Love using polarized sunglasses when I'm doing this. It helps a ton. Just cutting through that glare and seeing the fish a little better. You can see them clear as day pick up the bait and what they're doing, if they're shy or not. That one's way out there. Good 150, 200 feet out. You know, I love float fishing for bluegills with a slip float rig. And I love fishing for them with a free line too, especially on the edges, you know, about 15, 20 feet out on these edge beds. But, you know, more often than anything, I usually bottom fish for them with these three-way slip sinker rigs. And it's not because bottom fishing for them is better in most situations than float fishing for them. It's just because with a bottom rig, I can adjust the weight and make the weight heavy if I want. I can fish close in. I can fish, you know, a medium distance. I can really wing it out there farther than any other rig. So over the course of the day, because I can cover more area, I could get on a better number of fish. Cover the transition fish way out deep and in close, and the spawning fish way out in the center and in close. And get on a better number. It's a nice one. That one's probably a touch over 9. Or right on 9. Another quality gill. Probably just a little over 9 inches. A lot of the time when you're targeting aggressive fish like this, it'll be more efficient to just cast and recast every couple minutes, you know. I mean, it's always efficient to check your rods and make sure your bait is fresh and stuff every once in a while. With a big bait for, you know, something like pike, it might be once an hour. With walleyes, I usually do it once every, you know, 10 minutes to half an hour, depending on how hot the bite is. But, you know, with bluegills, it can be every couple minutes might be an efficient thing to do. Just because, not only because keeping your bait fresh is important when they're a little bit shy, but also because just that splash from it hitting the water makes them flock towards it. And if they didn't flock towards it when you casted it out the first time, you know, reeling it in and recasting it can accelerate that process and get you on another fish faster. a lot of times that seems to hold true for me. I'll try and catch that pumpkin seed right there. Almost. Try it again. I can't believe he ate it twice in a row. I just pulled him out of the water halfway. That's funny. A lot of times the second shot they get shy and won't hit it again. Pretty dumb pumpkin seed. This guy right here keeps eyeballing it. Got him. Third time's a charm. Short but round, probably an 8-incher. Real pale. Don't see a lot of purple gills when they're spawning like this. See more of them that color early spring or in the winter. This guy's tugging pretty good. It feels like a sunfish. You know, I used to do this a lot back in the day. I said that already, but like back before I made videos, I used to do this non-stop. In the 10s I used to get, you know, they'd serpentine like back and forth and use their surface area to fight against you. And kind of like this guy's doing, but this guy probably isn't quite that big. He just has some attitude. But they'd use their surface area and really, oh, he has some eggs, that's why. He's just heavy. Heavy, fat, spawning mama. But use their surface area to fight against you and kind of feel like flying a kite. The way they glide back and forth and put up resistance sideways. There we go, first double header. See? Awesome. You know, it's slowing down a little bit, so I'm just trying to recast in each little 10 by 10 foot section. And usually once I hit a new section, it hits right away. Usually before I put the rod in the rod holder, it's going off, but I gotta keep hitting these new sections with fresh fish to keep it up. It's another one, solid 9-incher, maybe a hair more. Nice one. Probably just a little bit more. Definitely gonna move eventually. Might be soon. It's starting to get pretty slow. This guy's really tugging. He's bending the rod pretty good. Yeah, he's a decent gill. Oh yeah, nice gill. Nice gill. That's what I'm talking about right there. Wow. Almost fit 2 fingers in his mouth. That's a beauty. Man, I should get a quick measurement on him. He's definitely pushing 10 inches. He's at least 9.5. But with a real tall back and eggs and stuff. Solid bluegill. That last one was a nice one. It was 9 3/4 with the mouth closed. 10 inches with the mouth open, so that means it was 9 3/4, but it's above average fish. Not what I'd call a rare fish, but you know, out of about, you know, to put in perspective, out of about 600 fish so far this year, 600 sunfish. Best one so far has been 9.9, so 9 3/4 are better than average, even though I do see a ton of 9-inchers. Definitely slowing down. Just trying to milk this particular spot before I move, milk it for everything it's worth. Try and get as much as I can out of it. It's gonna be a long day. That's my plan, at least. Brought about 90 nightcrawlers, which might be on the light side, but I'm splitting them, so I should be able to make it work. Another sunfish. Looks like a bluegill. Cool. Had a couple quality ones spitted on the way in, so should have had a couple more 9s at this point, but that one's another one in the low 9s, 9.1 or point, I don't know, at least 9 inches I'd say, right around there. There we go. This guy was just sitting on it. Wasn't really tugging. Just ate it and sat there. Smaller gill. You know, maybe 8 inches at best. Still picking up a fish every few minutes. Slow, but could be worse. A few small ones, a few decent ones. Mix of both. This one's on the smaller side. Probably 8 1/4. Not sure what's going on here. I do have a fish. It's caught up in a stick there for a moment. Couldn't quite tell. A lot of times they'll just, once they know they're hooked, they'll try and find the nearest snag. And the beavers drop a lot of like sticks and stuff on their way over to their hut. So there's just like random sticks around in the shallows that these guys get caught up in. Another pumpkin seed. You know, ever since it slowed down, I started using whole worms instead of half worms. Larger profile bait and also more movement in it. That movement's usually key when trying to pick up shy fish too, and some of these guys are not exactly shy, but they're in between shy and aggressive. That's a nice one. That one's probably a solid 9 1/4. Nice quality gill. Got this guy in the same bit of worm as the last one, half piece of worm. Just looks like a little guy. Yeah, another one. I don't know, maybe barely 8 inches. Good colors though. All of them have been real good colors. I don't know. He might have some algae caught on him. A lot of times the weight digs down in all this scum you get in the summer in these lakes. Hard to tell. Yeah, he's not that big, but oh, that's why. these super fat spawning females feel a lot heavier. They're loaded with eggs. That's why I felt heavy. Not terribly long, but super thick fish. Huge belly on her. Such a beautiful day. Such nice looking gills. They just have the perfect colors today. I love panfish fishing so much. Oh, this looks like a pumpkin seed. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. Pumpkin seeds always have great colors. Actually, that one might be a hybrid. He doesn't have much, looks like a pumpkin seed to me, but he doesn't have the red on his gill plate. Usually pumpkin gills don't have the red there and they get a little rounder. Getting most of them over here in the shallows, out in the center. So it's mostly spawners, but I'm getting a few in the deeper area, a few pre-spawn. You know, it changes day to day where the major concentrations of fish are. Oops! Shoot, slipped right out of my hand there. Another average bluegill. You know, probably 8 1/2, 8 3/4. Last couple fish, I've just been picking out the biggest, juiciest nightcrawlers I got and splitting them in half. Part of the slowness is they're being a little bit picky, a little bit shy. When they get shy, they'll start picking up baits, crushing it, like crushing the juice out, and then dropping it quick. We'll hit it and quit it real quick. It's just a smaller guy. Got this guy right in close here. Fishing the last spots I haven't hit, about 30, 40 feet out. Been picking off all the ones way out far for the whole morning now. And I've been here. Another bluegill. Probably 8 1/4 or so. Smaller guy. Or girl. Another one in close here. I think it's about time I start moving around. Yep, just barely lip hooked him. He kept picking it up and dropping it. It's a shy one. There we go. Took a hike looking for greener pastures. I want the same quality fish, but More of them. Gonna have to work for a while, find them again. Find a new school of them. There's a nice pot of them right here bedding. You can see all the little circles in the ground there. It's all from bluegills. You know, sometimes you just find a pot of decent bluegills right on the edge around some structure, and that's the structure right there, just a little branch in the water. They're all clustered around. They're a little picky, but they're still curious. That's enough for me. I can work with curious. It's when they fly out of their beds at the sight of a hook. That's when it's hard to work with them. Setting up a three-way slip sinker rig in this transition zone here, just to check it out. Oh, cool! Got a little stocky rainbow. That's funny. Not what I expected, but I'll take it. There we go. There's another bluegill. Small guy. There we go. That one's got some shoulders. Interesting. You know, these ones right on the edge spawning are different colors. There we go. It's another decent one. Nice edge fish. Oh man. Now another 8 1/4, 8 1/2. There we go. Nope, he's all caught up in the branch. Shoot. Oh well. Getting both of them then. Yeah, another one. Round but short, probably 8, 8 1/4. Yeah, this has got to be a bass. He's tugging. You know, this is another time when the three-way slip sinker rigs come in handy. A lot of times, I don't know if you can see them, but those green patches out there are algae beds. And just like when a better class of bluegills focuses around like a branch near the edge, the ones out in the shallows in the middle here will, yeah, it's a largemouth. Will, the ones out in shallows in the middle a lot of times will focus around those algae beds there. Cool. Nice little bass. 13 1/2 incher. There we go. Finally picked one up out of that algae cluster there on a three-way slip sinker rig. Half a nightcrawler. You know, it's just this spot right there used to be killer years ago. Used to get, you know, 100, 150 a day. Pretty much all 9 inchers, 9 1/4. Few above, few below, but we're all right around 9 1/4 pretty much. And you know, the last year or two, it just isn't as good because it filled in with silt. It's a lot more shallow now than it used to be. I hate it when they glide towards snags like that. Gotta try and rip them out, but it's like a finger trap. The faster you pull, the faster they glide. But he's really dumb. He started gliding the other way. Hey, a bluegill over here. Cool. That's a good sign. Maybe there's more. It's not pulling very hard. Yeah, smaller bluegill. Smaller class of fish over here. Little pumpkin seeds and bluegills. Still just working my way around. Found a few more beds in front of me. Looks like, I don't know, all I see is pumpkin seeds in them so far. Nothing big. Seems like they're all like this size. So I might keep moving. Might go back to the first spot. There we go. Another one. Another day at the sunfish mines. It's definitely been a slower day so far. Pretty sure the spawn's waning off. These are probably some of the last fish they're pushing in the spawn. This group here. It's a nice solid pumpkin seed. Decently long, probably 8.5, but real thick. Usually when they get longer, like 9 inches or better, they get super round and just super thick. Fill out way better than a bluegill. It's a gill. Sweet. Not that big, just another one on the small side. Surprised he fought that hard for how small he is. Felt like a bass for a moment, but oh, just another gill. Just using that surface area to fight against me. They just glide back and forth with so much strength. Got a grip on them here. Another pumpkin seed, I think. Yep, another smaller pumpkin seed. Slowly working my way back here. Tiny pumpkin seed. There we go, there's a gill. Sweet. Can't really see any beds here. I just see abandoned beds that have algae in them, so I'm surprised I got this gill. Just blind fishing. Hoping there was a bed out a little further. Get a grip on him here. There's a little pocket of them right here. They're grabbing it right when it touches the water. This looks like it might be a pumpkingill hybrid. I don't see any red on the ear, but it has the pumpkin seed marks on the face. They're grabbing it right when it touches the water. See, there he is. Nice little pot of bluegills out there. This is a good surprise. So I'm running out of spots. I was about to go back to the first spot, which I already hammered, so it would be slow at best. I'm still going to do that, I think, but I'm going to fish this out first. Right when it touches the water. Another gill. Love finding these little pods of gills. Another solid gill. This guy's tugging. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Nice gill. For an edge gill for sure. It's more like the gills you find out in the shallows away from the edge. Decent gill. Got a jumper. Another gill. Awesome. Oh, this makes me so happy. This is a pretty hot pocket right here. It's a good solid aggressive bite. This guy just sat on it. Wasn't tugging. Small gill. 7.5 probably. They're all concentrated like 15 to 20 feet out. Just beyond what I can see with my polarized sunglasses. A little edge pot of them out there on that edge. That contour. Right where it starts to drop off. Looks like another gill. Another gill. Oh, this is sweet. This is a little better one. Yeah, that's a decent one. There we go. That's more like it. Solid, kind of lanky 9-incher. Not very tall in the back, but I'm pretty sure he's 9. Or hair over. It's a nice one. A lot of decent gills stacked up. That last one was right around 9 1/3. Measured out at. That one's like 8, 8.5. Smaller gill. Fortunately, haven't seen many of this size today. Oh, another little guy. Little bluegill. Sweet. Another gill. A fat one. 4 eggs. Another little guy just sitting on it. Little pumpkin seed critter. Hitting this spot in case some shy fish are back to normal again. Probably just pick up 1 or 2 here. Then I'll move on. There we go. Another gill. A little bit of smaller ones here. Slightly smaller ones. These are like 7.5, 8s. Back where I started now. Hitting this edge quick. A tiny guy. That one on the 3-way slip sinker rig. And half piece of nightcrawler. Sweet. Another gill. Fat mama gill. It's kind of hot again right off the bat. Maybe the shy fish became less shy. Got this guy in a whole worm. Little pumpkin seed. Sweet. Whew, man. Feels like a decent gill. This one went off right when it touched the water. It's a good sign. Hopefully it doesn't trail off too fast. I want to catch some more nice ones here. Oh yeah, solid gill. That's what I'm talking about. There's a nice gill. That one's definitely over 9 inches by a little bit. Nice, beautiful colors too, man. I love it when they have these colors, the turquoise right there and all this like green and black bars and stuff. So pretty. Remind me of crappies for some reason. It's like I was never here. Still a good school of them. I must have ripped so many out that the remaining ones got shy. Got this guy in a half piece of worm, another gill. A little smaller, 8 1/4. Sometimes gills will get moody too. A weather system, or especially twilight, right when it starts to get dark, we'll turn on the numbers, and you could have been sitting on the numbers the whole time and not know it until the timing's right. It's another great gill, 9 inches or a little bit better. Maybe 9 to 9.2. There you go. Another tiny edge guy. Might work my way down here. Fish this edge as far down as they go, not too far. There we go, there's a slightly better one. Trying to avoid these little 6 inchers. These sound like 7.5, 8, you know. 7.5 probably. Hard to avoid these tiny guys. Trying to work around them, but failing. There we go. This guy's like in between tiny and small. He's probably like a true 7.5. Might be underguessing some of these really small ones. Definitely slowing down again. Another hookup though. Got some few shy fish out there too. Working on hooking them. Oh man, definitely made some smart today. Nice pretty pumpkin seed. I think I got a tiny largemouth. Didn't see that coming. Wow, super tiny. About 10-15 feet out. Slightly better gill. Just gotta keep him out of that line there. Yeah, that's a decent gill. Awesome. Real fat one. Super, super fat with eggs. Wow. Nice gill. Probably 8 3/4 or so. Wasn't budging at all. Another pumpkin seed? Oh, nice one. Don't get stuck in the weeds. Shoot. There we go. Nice quality pumpkin seed. Another one probably 8 1/2. One of the bigger 2 pumpkin seeds of the day. No, nothing big, but nice solid thick one. Quality one. There you go. Another gill right on the edge. Like right on the edge. That bed a foot away from shore. It's a smaller guy. 7 1/2 probably. Looks like a real little guy. Some real tiny ones mixed in on the edge. It's usually the case though. Got a bass. Small bass. Right in front of me here. Cool. Whoa. Looks like I got another tiny one. Oh well. Tiny but fat. Short. With eggs though. Strong for a smaller guy. He's just not as small as the last one. I guess he's maybe average. It's over 8. Maybe. Kind of fishing blind for these guys. About 15 feet out, so I can't pull it away from the small ones when they take it. Just catching everything I can. Right there, in that spot. Couldn't tell he was on for a moment. Pulled out some serious slack. There we go. Another bluegill. Dark one. Interesting, all the different color phases. I think I accidentally caught a super tiny one. Messing around with the rod. Whoops. 6-incher. Got this guy way out deep. He was also just sitting on it. I was just checking the pole and he was on. Interesting. Yeah, staging bluegill. Awesome. Decent one. Probably right around 9 inches, I'd say. Take them underneath this line here. Guess I can't. Another short, fat one. Again, some of these guys on whole worms. Trying to get that movement in their face. Some of these shy ones. Also get that larger profile bait out there. Oh yeah, nice solid gill. That's what I'm looking for. Good ones. 9 pluses. With some shoulder on them. That one's probably 8 3/4. Nice solid one. Hot out and I've had black flies and mosquitoes on me all day, which is really weird. It's usually one or the other. Oh, just need 5 more fish. Trying to round out a limit that I should have already had. Released too many early on. And then I'm probably just gonna call it quits after that. Got a fish and got some sludge. Cool. Nice quality bluegill. Fat 9-incher. Beautiful. A lot of 9s. Very typical. Million nines and no tens. Did get one today. I was pretty close to 10, but it still wasn't a 10. Interesting. These last two fish were like back to back, almost a double header. They're just sitting here for like 15, 20 minutes straight. Nothing. Strange. Guess it's just a coincidence. I don't think it's a timing thing. There wasn't any weather or any like impending darkness or something to trigger it. There we go. Finally got another one. Keep falling asleep in between fish. It's taken a long while to get new bites. Oh yeah, solid bluegill. That's a beauty. Nice, solid, at least 9-incher. 9 or just a hair over 9. Probably 9. I'll be right on 9. Just gonna catch a few more. Then I'm out of here. Oh yeah, solid gills. Barely hooked. Nice looking gills though. It's another one, solid 9-incher. So many 9s. Just like it used to be 5 years ago. Just endless 9s. The guy from out in the middle. Oh man. Another nice gill. Just coming out of nowhere towards twilight. It's getting there. Sometimes I turn on a few hours before twilight. Real heavy. Amazes me how it slows back down, speeds back up. And these fish get triggered by little things. Like it getting darker and the weather changing and stuff like that. The numbers get triggered. Usually right around twilight too. That's usually when I get my biggest bluegills. More often than not. You know, double digits ones, but I don't think I'm going to stay that long today. Also, once in a while, it brings out some numbers. But there's other times of day I get numbers too. That's a good solid bluegill. 9 or a little bit over 9. Nice quality fish. Can't just help but catch a few more. It's definitely turning back on. I got everything I came for, but it's starting to get fun again. Starting to hit every couple minutes or every minute. Get another fish. Nice, beautiful pumpkin seed. This one's basically a double header with that last one. Just numbers appearing out of nowhere. Typical. There's more there than you think. You just have to. They're just finicky sometimes. They get triggered by weird things. A lot like walleye. Time of day and weather patterns trigger these guys. They're not as finicky as walleye, but they can get a little picky. Amazing. Double headers left and right now. Look at this. That rod's going off. Reeling in this guy. That's the way it should be. Finally starting to find some numbers right at the end when I want to give up. Been here all along, I figured. Another pumpkin seed. Another solid one. Just like flying a kite. Nice thick, short, but still thick pumpkin seed. Man, can't get a grip on him. Shoot. There we go. Man, hard to abandon. Just fish left and right all of a sudden. It was so slow earlier. Ridiculously slow. Now it's picking up hard. Another nice gill. Probably at least 8.5. That's a nice one. Real fat. At least 9 1/4, maybe 9 1/2. Probably 9 1/4. And my guessing's just been dead on. Last one was right on 9.5. Guessed pretty much every other fish today right. A couple I was a quarter off, but almost all of them I was dead on. A lot of real nice quality gills. Just fat spawning gills. Just catching and releasing them at this point. And solid beauties though. This one's probably 9.25. I don't know how long I'm going to stay here or not, but I'm definitely running low on worms, so I'm going to have to start splitting them again. They really aren't hitting the splits that well at this point. Another fat one. More average length though, you know, 8.5, 8.75. Still decent gill. Got one from in close. About 30 feet out. Little pumpkinseed. Maybe an average pumpkinseed. 8, 8.25. Could definitely keep catching them. They're still hitting real hot, but this is my last worm, so this is gonna be the last fish, I think. I'm gonna start packing up after this. One last decent bluegill. Real fat one with eggs. You know, about average 8.5 incher. Before I head out, figure I'd show you some fish quick. Probably caught over 100 sunfish today. You know, mostly bluegill with a few pumpkin seeds mixed in. You know, and to be honest, that's kind of a slow day, but I'm still real happy with today because I caught a lot of quality sunfish, just like it used to be. A lot of 9+ inchers, you know. Kept this quick 50 limit. Got some 8, 8.5 inchers mixed in because these aren't the biggest ones of the day. I let a lot of 9+ inchers go. These are just the first 50 I threw in the bucket, but also got a lot of 9+ in here. You know, especially towards the bottom here, bottom half. You know, including the biggest one of the day, which was 9.75. Nice, solid quality bluegill, especially for New York. You know, didn't catch any big ones, and if I did, I would have released it, because big fish are rare fish, and rare fish to me are more valuable as a trophy resource than a few ounces of meat. So I always try to release them, but at the same time, these are a great renewable resource. You know, these average ones are slightly above average ones. You know, and that's why I don't mind keeping a limit of ones this size, especially with panfish. I'm going to take these guys home, fillet them, and share them with a friend of mine.